So the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to have what's called an initial appearance, or an IA. You're going to show up in front of a commissioner, most likely, which is like an assistant judge. They're going to set your bond, which can be anything from a signature bond on up to a cash bond. The next hearing you're going to have is going to depend on whether you've got a felony or a misdemeanor. If you've got a felony, you're going to have what's called a preliminary hearing. This is a holdover from the days when Americans had rights in the criminal justice system. And it used to be that courts evaluated cases for probable cause. The police would show up and they'd have to show that there's actually sufficient evidence for the case to move forward. That's changed, and nowadays all a preliminary hearing tests is whether or not the DA can write a proper complaint. What I tell my clients is at the preliminary hearing, what's true doesn't actually matter. All that matters is what's in the complaint, okay? And then those cases are going to line back up, whether it's a felony or a misdemeanor. After that, we're going to be in front of the actual judge. That's when we're going to start getting the discovery. And discovery is a big lawyer word for all of the police reports, all of the papers, any videos or photos associated with your case that they have. And we're also going to be conducting our investigation. Those pretrials can go on for a period of time until eventually we're going to come to a day where I'm going to say, you, whatever your name is, Steve, John, Julie, whoever you are, today is the day we have to make a decision. This deal is as good as it's going to get. I don't believe it's going to get any better. Our decision is either we're going to take this to trial or we're going to accept this agreement. Okay? From there, we either go to trial or we go to sentencing. We'll talk later about what a trial might look like. But if we move on to sentencing, we're going to do a sentencing memo. We're going to make arguments to mitigate what's going to happen. And the judge is going to decide within the range of the maximum sentences based upon the recommendations from us, the recommendations from the state, and in the case of a felony, the recommendation from the Department of Corrections. Taking all of that into account, the judge is going to make a determination based on the character of the offender. That's you, what kind of a person you are. The seriousness of the offense, how bad of a crime is it? And the protection of the public. How do we protect the public in relation to this? Our holistic approach addresses all three of those questions from day one, so that if we end up in sentencing, we are set. We're not scrambling in the last few weeks to get things set up. It's a plan A, B, C, D, E, however many we need to until we get a good outcome for you. My name is David Patton, and I'm here to help.